Okay, so there you go. There's some basic cut and paste property-wise on what we were working on, and then making the necessary changes that we need throughout this particular individual document. Okay, to make it look and feel like the rest of them with your individual tags or your headings. Okay? All right, so here's what I want to do. Actually, let's do this really quick. Let's, this will get you to get a habit of understanding how to do this. Create a new document for me. We'll create a new document. We're going to create a new document once again off this template. And we'll save that document, and we'll call it bullet. So, okay, so we want to create a new document off of this particular. What do we got to do? Where do we go? First things first. We want a new page, file new, and when our new document window comes up, it should be automatically already set to build something off of the template, correct? And the reason why that is because we just built one off of there and remember the preferences. Okay? All right, so there you go. So this is all set. So we already got the site template. We've already got the individual unnamed site A, the master template. We got the template that we want. So now we can just simply hit create. As soon as it is created, let's go up to File and let's save as, or save, or hit Command S. Yes?
It's not coming up with the energy.
It won't, because that's its own document. That's it. See, we're creating a new document now. Off the master, you had to put more information in. Yep. Okay? So just name it, and like I said, we're just going to work on list items and bullet lists, so just name it bullet. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at working with unordered lists and ordered lists. All right? So let's do the same process that we did before. I believe that we have some sort of a individual document that we can work off of, and we do. So once again, let's do this, guys. Let's go to our Finder. Let's go to your Finder window. And if you click on your Finder window might still be open in the background. All right. If your Finder window is still open in the background, and your Finder window being open goes directly to your jump drive, directly to your lesson file, directly to lesson 7, directly to the resources folder. And what we want to open up is a file called greentips.rtf. All right? So open up greentips.rtf. And when you open up greentips.rtf, you have something that just looks like a great big list, right? Okay. Oh, no, yep, you got to go to your jump drive. There you go. Lesson 7 right there. Good. Resources. And green tips. RTF. There you go. Double click and open it up. Yes, sir. Yeah, you can close the green, use RTF if you want. You don't necessarily need that anymore. Once again, we're going to do the same thing we just did. All right? We're going to copy all of this. So everybody go ahead and copy. Or select all to make sure that we get it all. So Command A, that will get us everybody in the pool. All right. Command C to copy it. And then where it says the section on, mine says clearing method, blah, 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 all that. you take your first section of text, highlight your whole first section of text. Okay? Right there where it says how to use this document, be aware of CSS, just highlight all of that. This whole first section right here. And then just paste this particular information right on top of it. Okay? Yeah, highlight it. You don't have to delete it, just paste it right on top. Where is that? On top? There you go. That's it. That's all I want you to do. Yep. No, you don't need to delete the rest of the information. Let's just paste this right in here. Yep. Did you create a new page? That's fine. That's all right. So highlight where that says green, more green, all that stuff. Yeah. There you are. Yeah. There you go. Just paste the other stuff. Yeah. Okay. And when you command V it in there, and you have all that pasted in, you'll have one great big list. Paste it in there. There you go. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. So this is what we got. Now, the one thing you'll notice that is if we take a look at this, which we're going to do, if we take a look at this over here in our individual split view, you can see that each one of these came in as what? Its own individual paragraph. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. All right? We don't like that. Because essentially what we want is we want a bullet list. Right? That's the way we want these listed out. We want them listed out as bullets. Okay? All right. But I think we only want them listed out as bullets after the individual headings that we were using, that we're going to use in place. So if you take a look, what are the first two words we see? At home. So let's take at home and change at home to a heading 2. Right? So take at home and change it to a heading 2. Heading 2 tag. Heading 2. Heading 2. Easiest way to do that. Go right into your properties right there. Right into format. Change it to heading 2. There it is. Okay? Awesome. Alright? Now it just looks like a regular heading 2. That's great. Absolutely great. Now, what I'd like you to do next is this. I'd like you to take the next, how many we got? So we got at home, and then the next one that you can see down here that would cause the break would be at work. You see where it says at work? Okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to take everything between wash your clothes in cold water to buy fruits and vegetables locally, and I want you to highlight it. So, wash your clothes in cold water, all the way down to buy fruits and vegetables locally. So you have something that looks like this. Remember you got something that looks like that? Okay. So what I'd like you to do now is when that is done, is now what we're going to do is, because these are going to be bullet lists, okay, that are going to fall underneath that, we now need to take this and make it an unordered list. All right? Does anybody know where to find unordered list? Okay. So where am I going? There you go. Right next to the italic button, you'll see that we have the unordered list button. So everybody click that. See what happens. Unordered list button. On your properties inspector. Yeah, right there. There you go. Yep, so we select that. Look what happens. You have a list. Okay, there's a bullet list with everything listed out. Okay, awesome. Absolutely awesome. All right, you know what? I changed my mind. I don't want a bullet list. I want an ordered list. So what do? We click on while it is still highlighted. Correct. While it is still highlighted, you can click on ordered list. And when you click on ordered list, which is right next to unordered list,
you'll have numbers instead of just bullets. Okay? All right? All right, here we go. Change it back to an unordered list. Thank you kindly. And when we change it back to an unordered list, it's now just bullet points. Each one of these bullet points, as we spoke of in the past, has its own specific, well, it doesn't have its own specific name, but what they are called is they are called list items, right? LIs. LIs for list items. So if we take a look at the code, you can see that we have a unordered list heading right there. You can see the UL tag for unordered list. And then we have individual list items. Each one of those is a list item. Okay? Now the other place where we worked with this is we worked with this in our navigation. Remember all our navigation? All our navigation were unordered lists and list items. All we did, right, to give the buttons that we were using their look and feel is style them to do what we wanted them to do. So here's what I want right now. As you take a look at this particular unordered list that we have, one thing that you will keep in mind is this, is that list items, okay, like everything else that we work with, are pre-formatted, right? Meaning this, you can see the space between one and the other, you know, the space between the first one and the second one. There's space that's there. Everybody see that? Okay? Now let's just say by chance, you know what? That's too much space for me. The covers, I don't know if the covers are weird, because this is what we do. Because this is what's real. And they probably don't. And they don't. Why don't you? Why don't you tell people how to do this? Alright. Too much space. We want it to be tighter. That takes up a lot of the page, does it not? Right? It does. So we want those things to be tighter. You know, not so tight that you can't read it, but we want them to be a little bit tighter. So here's what we do. Okay? Right here. We have to do one of two things. Here's the one of two things that we have to do. We have to, one, either change the list item tag, right? Which we can do, but if we change the list item tag, then we change it across every list item tag across the whole board that isn't already specified out, right? Okay? Which means that we might have some other list items in there that get affected, which we don't like. Or we create a new compound selector, which will only affect the list items that are within the content class. Everybody see where I'm going with this? Okay? Because all of our list items are inside of the content class right here, and these will be the ones that will be affected, then what we will do is we will make our stand with these, and we will make the change there. So here's what I want you to do. So let's do this, and this is going to be a little, when you're doing stuff of this nature, meaning when you're making changes to this, okay, all right, you don't know everything, which is fine. And so what happens is a lot of this becomes what we refer to as trial and error. There's nothing wrong with trial and error. Okay? Actually, you learn a lot more by going through and doing trial and error. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're just going to tighten it up a little bit. But here's what you need to understand when we start to work with tightening stuff up. First of all, you see where my cursor is? Okay? You can see that I have this highlighted and it says wash. Right? You can see that there's a little bit on the top and a little bit on the bottom. Everything that we work with, everything that we do and choose, it has the properties of what we refer to as the box model. You have to think of that there's a box around everything. Okay? Even things that are pre-formatted, there's a box around it. Does that not look like a box right there? It does look like a box, does it not? I've got room on the top and I've got room on the bottom.
That's what we have to keep in mind. Okay? There's room on the top and there's room on the bottom. So if I wanted to make that smaller, I would have to make what smaller? I got to make the room on the top and the room on the bottom smaller. And I have to do that for both, because if I only make the room on the bottom smaller, then it won't make it quite as tight, because everything still has room on the top. Right? Everybody, I mean, the way we see this individually, if you look at this individually, there's room on the top here, and there's room on the bottom here. But you go to the next one, there's also going to be room on the top and room on the bottom, right? So if I just change the room on the bottom, it would only affect the room on the bottom for all of them. Everybody understand that? Does that make sense? Box model, 4 sides, okay? We want to tighten it up. We're working with the top and the bottom. Those are the 2 that we're working on. So let's do this. Let's go into our window in our CSS Designer. Put your cursor anywhere inside of one of those list items. Anyone? Anyone? Does not matter. Okay? And then what I want you to do is select your first style.css over here on the right-hand side, left-hand side. So it gives us all of the individual rules that we have. Okay? Now you have all your rules, and the only reason why we do this is because by doing this, we'll put it into the CSS style sheet for us. And then I want you to hit the plus sign for your selector. So we're going to add a new selector. What does it say? Okay, so it says section UL LI. All right. So what does that mean? Tell me what that means. Somebody explain it to me. It is a section on an ordered list. Correct. Mine actually comes back container content, but we can do section unordered list items. That's awesome. That's fun. So what this is stating is this: is it actually went one more specific than just the content, and it went to any list item in an unordered list in a section anywhere, any section. So anytime something's in a section, this is the way it'll be, and this will be the effect. Okay? All right. So what I want you to do now is I want you to click on the right side. This rule is good. Click on the right side so we get up our properties. Okay. $64,000 question. What are we going to change to tighten this up? What's that? What else? All right, so we want to change the padding? I said, trial and error. Trial and error. Change what you think you should change. No, let's go. Hey, we'll make the change. If it doesn't right, we'll come back in. We'll make a different change. We'll do whatever it needs to do. So, all right. So if we change the padding, margin? Did I hear margin? What does margin do? That's exactly. There you go. Keep this in mind, and it's a great way to think about this, guys. Padding is from the outside in, meaning from the outside wall to the inside content. Margin is from the wall out, specifying from box to box. So change the margin and see what happens. Change the margin to, oh God, it's a tough number to do. Because the preset, so just pick 2 numbers and change it. We're either going to make it really, really big or super, super small. Okay, yeah. And then just click off over here and see what happens. What did you change it to? What's that?
Oh, negative.
Excellent, excellent. Okay. We have What I was really hoping for was an answer where somebody made a change, it, and there's no effect whatsoever. Because the effect that was made was big enough. Because what essentially ends up happening is that we have positive space and negative space. Okay? Much the same way we have with everything. So, if I move 5 paces away, then that would be +5. If I move 5 paces closer, that would be -5. So if I wanted to tighten stuff up, one of the ways we can do that is by actually entering in a negative margin,
okay, or a negative number for the margin. And it just becomes a matter of figuring out what that number should be. Yes?
Why does it affect everything unless it's like in other words, watch code is scoped out of watch window out of -2. Well, I put it in live. Yeah. So
There you go.
and so it tightens it up. So, in the same regard that we have positive, we also have negative if we want to tighten it up. It was a great answer. Excellent. But as you can see, being that we're working with the box model, you must take it off of both sides. Okay? Now you don't have to take it off of both sides equally. I take it off both sides equally just because that's what we do. You don't necessarily have to if you don't want to. Okay? Alright. So, point being is that
We once again can control the look and the feel of this list or unordered list by simply understanding what the tag is, okay, that coincides with what we want to change. Under this particular instance, it was the section unordered list item. Very easy to understand or to get there by simply putting your cursor where you want to make the change and accessing your designer and adding a new selector. That will automatically tell you. Or the other way to do it is we can always take our cursor, put it right there where we want to make the change, wait for our code navigator to come up, and then when our code navigator comes up, it'll tell us the individual rule that will be at the bottom of that so-called cascade. Okay? Alright, so now, let's go back, put our cursor once more inside of that unordered list. Pull up our properties inspector and change it. I just changed it. I changed it. Oops. Highlight them all. Change them back to an unordered list. Highlight all the list items. Change them back to an unordered list. And one of the things that you will notice is what? Change back to an ordered list. Thank you, sorry. And when you change them back to an ordered list, none of those individual rules, right, apply because it's no longer to an unordered list. Those rules are all applied to an unordered list, not a ordered list. So, in this particular instance, right, in this particular instance, it might not have been a bad idea to not only include section ULLI, but also include section OLLI. Just for the simple fact that if you wanted to go back and forth between an ordered list and an unordered list, you don't lose your styling. Does everybody understand that? So essentially what we could do is here, if you go back into your design, go back into your designer, and under this individual section, in your CSS designer, let me make sure my mouse comes up. There we go. Underneath here, if we double click, we can get this to open up. And what we can do is we can do the same thing that we did, remember when we were working with the links, is that we can highlight this code, hit Command-C, put a comma, a space, hit Command-V, and just change the U to an O. Okay? So, what we did is we highlighted the section ULLI, copied it, double click first of all so it opens up so we can do that. Yeah. Double click on it and make sure you're not, okay, yeah, that's fine, that's the same. I don't know, scroll all the way down, yeah, scroll all the way down, because I don't think, yeah, that will, double click on it, there you go. It's highlighted, you copy it, after it's copied, you get your cursor to the end of the line, after the LI, you put a comma, you hit the space bar, you hit paste. So now it should read section ULLI, comma, space, section ULLI. And what I'd like you to do is replace that second U with an O. And so now what we have is we have an unordered list and an ordered list which will share the same properties. So take this back into your individual document, test it out, and make sure that it works.
Section ULLI.
Yep, comma, space, and then now when you look at it in live view, right, but when you preview live view, it's gone. Yeah, it's just the computer space, the program space. So now when you look at it here, your unordered list and your ordered list look the same. Alright? Have the same spacing, have the same color, same text. So, you have the ability, if you just want to switch back and forth, without giving up the individual styling. This way, all lists will look the same, which is important because, once again, it gives you the look, the feel, the flow. Everybody feels nice and warm and fuzzy at home. They don't feel like they've gone someplace that they shouldn't have, so they feel really good, which is what you want. All right? This is giving you the ability to keep everything simple and right in line. Okay? All right. So we'll click out of there. Click out of live view. Let's go into File and Save All. Alright, do that every once in a while. Just File, Save All. That'll give us the ability to save all.
Da, 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 da. Come on, really, seriously? Oh, yeah. All right. One more. Okay. All right. So there you go. So there you go. So now save that up. So now you know how to style out a list. If you need to style out a list, you style the actual list item in the unordered list, and then you can also style not only the list item, but also the ordered and unordered list. So all your styles live together. Okay, awesome. Do me one more thing. We're going to create one more page. Okay. And we're going to create another class. And we're going to apply that class. And this time we're going to apply that class to div tags. Okay. We have already applied rules to div tags. That's essentially what we've done throughout the whole entire class when working with the layout, when working with what we refer to as, what do we call that? Our container, our header, our content, our footer, our sidebar. Even now, just here when we were working with section, but we're going to do it again, all right? So, first thing we do here is we're going to create a new page. We're going to go File, New, do the exact same thing. We'll create it off our template, create it off the master. All right, create. What do we have for, and let's name this page Profiles. Style and Profile. Okay, so we'll hit Command S to save it. Save it as Profiles. Profiles.html. Okay, and we will click Save. Awesome. So now, with Profiles open, okay, we're now we need some text to populate the profile. So we're going to go get that text. I'm going to go on the assumption that the text that we want again where are we going to find that text? Use text. Oh, there it is. Okay. So once again, let's go back into our Finder. From our Finder should automatically, if you close it and you close it, that's fine. Then just reopen it. Navigate yourself all the way back in your Finder to your Lesson 7, to your Resources folder. And in your Lesson 7 Resources folder on your jump drive, you've got a folder, or you've got a file that's called contactus.rtf. Let's open up contactus.rtf. All right? So we open up contactus.rtf. Okay? Once again, that's coming off of from your Finder. Your smiley face down on the bottom left. There you go. There you go. You got it open right there. So we want contactus.rtf. Good. All right? And if we take a look at contactus.rtf, this is once again a bunch of information. And it basically has, if you notice, it's got, you read through it really quick, it's just basic general information, but it's got breakdowns of different individual sections. It's got association management, it's got education and events, it's got transportation analysis. Essentially all this is just different subheadings for different people. All right? And there's a whole lot of them, not a whole lot, 5 or 6 of them, all right?
all we're going to do is we're going to put one into play. We're going to put one into play right now. Okay? So what I would like you to do, you don't have to copy all of this text. Okay? But what we are going to do is we're going to copy the first part of it from where it says, for general questions and information, email info@greenstart.org. And we're going to take that all the way down to where it says email elaine@greenstart.org. Okay? Excuse me? Yeah, we're going to take all of that. This is what I want right there. Can you see the section that I have highlighted? That's the section that I want. I want you to copy that, and we're going to paste that back into your document. Okay, so let's copy it. Command C. We're going to come back into our Green Start document profiles that we have here. And where it says clearing method in that first section, see where it says first section, where I got my text? I want you to take that and I want you to hit Command V and paste over the top of this text. Okay? Go Command V and paste over the top of it, and now it should look something like this. Okay, for general questions and email information, there it is. All right, we can contact our offices, association manager, blah, 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 blah. All right, so we got all that in place. Okay? Good? Sound good? Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to take this and we want to create it so we can style it up so some of the text is indented, so it has an individual look and feel that it stands on its own, and that it actually is more along the lines of it's got its own. You know, one of the ways to make something look like it stands on its own is to give it a border. You put a border around something, and you're putting a real definitive border. Yeah, exactly. Separation between it and something else. So we're going to create some rules. All right, and we want to create some rules for this so we can apply it to multiple sections. Okay, so if I want to apply something to multiple sections, what do I need to create? Excuse me? I thought I could swear. Oh, yeah, exactly. Excellent. Great answer. We're going to create another class, much the same way we just did for that green for the text. We're going to create another class, but the class that we're going to create now is going to be applied to a section, because all a section is just another HTML tag, correct? And I can apply a class to any HTML tag that I want. So I'm going to do it and just apply it to the section tag. Okay? So let's do this. So we're going to create some individual yeah, no, that's awesome. Okay, we're going to create some individual let's do it. Okay. We're going to create some individual for this guy. So let's put your cursor inside of that particular section. Open up your designer. Yeah, it would be, but you'd have to go through and create each individual. Well, you're going to have to create a new section each time anyway, aren't you? Did they get rid of the section tag? Because that would be easier. Well, just checking to make sure I do this the same way they do it in the book. I can see what they're doing.
the word template has the that on it. When you do template, it shows that you shine, not really, not only the template, just like the second. Yeah, it seems to be the design. And well, I think it's going to use this whole section is different. You know, as well. So, I don't know. Because he did it before we had it.
That's showing the different to show that one. I don't do that. Yeah, I don't think it matters. Okay.
All right, good. Okay, come on, guys. Okay, so yeah, that's the way we're going to do it. Okay, so actually it doesn't matter. The way I'm going to show you how to set this up, it doesn't matter where your individual cursor is because we're going to set this to specific individual class or to specific individual sections. So we're going to do it as a span class so we don't have to worry about it. Okay, so here's what I want. So make sure you got your first style.css there selected. Okay? And then go ahead and hit the individual plus sign for a new individual selector. And you'll notice that the new individual selector down the bottom comes class container, class content, section, right? Okay? Wipe all that out. And what I want you to do is I just want you to once again put the period and the word profile, P-R-O-F-I-L-E. Okay? And by putting the word profile in there, this means that we are going to set an individual class for this to be applied across the board. All right? Okay, so now click on the right side, and now all of your individual rules will come up. All right? We're going to set some rules. Okay? All right. So the first rule that we want to set is we're going to give it a border. Okay? Actually, you know what? Yeah. Oh, no, that's what they do. Okay. All right. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to indent it. Okay? And before we get into indentation and working with indentation, here's all I'm going to tell you about indentation. There are two ways to do indentation. I'm going to show you one that will be the only way to do indentation. Right? And the reason being is because actually the other way a lot of people like to use block quotes, which will actually move the text in, but it's not the proper way to do it. You don't want to be bundled up in a block quote. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to control the margin, because margin is the proper way to move everything. All right? Keep that in mind. Margin is the proper way to move everything. So what we want to do is we're going to set some rules right now for profile, and we're going to set some margin rules. Okay? And to indent this particular box or tag or whatever it is that we're working with, we're going to set the margin. And the margin is we are going to set the right and left margins. We are going to enter in 25 pixels. So on your right and left margin here, we'll select the margin. Okay. Select your margin. On your right and left, it's going to be 25 pixels. Okay? All right, awesome. Okay, and in the bottom field, we're just going to put in 15. So we will not put a top margin, just a bottom margin. Okay? Okay, so 25, 25, 15. All right? Okay, so that's got the indentation taken care of. Anytime you want to indent anything, okay, do it through margin, or you do have the ability when setting paragraph tags to set a margin or to set a text indent also. But we want to make sure that we do it properly through the CSS. Okay? All right. The next thing that we want to do is we're going to put in a border. And the border that we're going to put in is we'll come down to border, select your border, and your border can go in all at once or you can put it in individually. We are going to put in it all at once, maybe not. We're going to put in a top and a bottom border. See, I don't like doing it this way. I really, really don't. All right, so we're going to select border color. We're at the border. We're working on the border. Hey, what's going on?
You didn't see a jump drive here, did you?
I really wasn't looking, so I don't know. Did you get my email?
No, not yet.
No, not yet. Have you checked your email?
No, not yet.
Okay. I canceled class tonight. So, huh? Our class? Was it going to have a picnic? Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
I didn't see one. I'll keep my eyes open.
No, that's fine.
Okay. Okay. All right.
See that?
Okay. So here we go. So border color. Everybody's on border? You got the border? On your border color, pick a border color. I don't care what color your border pick. All right? We're going to pick this color for all of them. Border color. I'm picking red. Okay, so we got red across the board. That's fine. Border width. Now we can specify width for individual sides. Okay, which actually is kind of cool sometimes. If you got one that's kind of like 5 or 6, and one that's 2, you know, it just gives it a different border size around the edge. Yeah, it's a question. Click on border. There you go, and you've got. Pull that down. Oh, cool. What is that? Oh, is everybody got that? Hold on just a second. Let me see. Huh? Yeah. How do you get that? Really? Does everybody have it? Yeah, everybody's got it. I did not know that. Okay, so here's your deal. Just so you see it. Yeah, this is all 4 sides. It's top, left, right, whatever. I don't have it. Sorry, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. So we're looking at 2 different things. So you got what everybody else. That's what I was looking at. I was like, what? What is that all about? And maybe that's one of the automatic updates that changed because I've got, I get automatic updates from CSF, from Dreamer. So anyway, so yours doesn't look like this. Somebody, why didn't you say? Just do this. I just keep going around. Okay, so there you go. So you'll have 4 little windows, 1 for 5 windows, 1 for all, 1 for top, bottom, left, and right. Okay, so if you select a border color for all, there you go. There's your border color for all. You can select a border width for all also, meaning that if you wanted everything to be 5 pixels, we could type in 5 pixels here. Okay, otherwise you can specify individual widths for your individual borders. On this particular one, bottom border is 10, left border is 2. So on your left border, left width, we'll put 2 pixels. And on the bottom width, bottom width, we will put 10 pixels. I don't think we want anything. They didn't specify. Did they? I don't see anything in the book. They don't specify anything in the book. So we're just applying something to the left and to the bottom. Yes. Okay, there you go. Okay, so with your window being set up this way, you got the color specified for red. So here's your width and your style. Okay, so the width here now, if you notice, you've got all four sides of that box. That'll be the width for all. So what we're doing is we're setting the width on the left. There you go. And set the width right here for the left to be 2 pixels. Click just, yep, click in the width where it says width. Nope, width. There you go. Yep. And click in PX to set this number, and then type in number 2. There you go. I think it's 2. I don't know. Is that 5 or 2? All right. And then in the bottom margin, here, click on the next box for bottom margin. Style, yeah, click on style. That style's got to be, where style says it's got to be solid. Solid line, yep. You got to set the style. It's got to be solid. And then over here on the bottom for the next one, see this here's your bottom margin right there. Yep. And then the same way, put this to 10 pixels. And also specify that the border style is solid for the left and for the bottom. No, just for the left and for the bottom, because those are the only ones that you have size for. Remember, we only did 2 and 10. 2 on the left and 10 on the bottom. So on the left and on the bottom, that's where we're going to have our style be just solid. All right? Okay. So now, that's it. That's all we're going to do. Everybody got it? So everything's red. We got a bottom border width of 10. A left border width of 2. And then we've got the border bottom style solid and the border left style solid. On top of that, we also have margin on the bottom and margin on the left. All right? Good? Awesome. We already set that. I was just, once again, speaking of other rules that we've applied. Okay? Okay, so now here's what we're going to do. Is everybody good? Huh? What you want? Yeah? Yeah, because you applied the rule here. You needed to click on here and and you needed to set a new, that's where you needed to apply all your rules. And so right now they're all applied. Yeah, exactly. Okay? So you got to take those out and replace them. Okay, so you got span class profile. Yeah, okay. So.
And then here, and then it goes straight into
Yeah, okay, well that's all right. That's good. Fine. All right, we'll show you what we're going to do next. All right, okay, so here we go. So next, if we've done this somewhat correctly, and we come here, and we select the section in a perfect world, we get something that looks like this. Okay? Select the section. Here's what here's what we're doing. This here, okay, where this is, you're applying the profile class. You don't want to do that. You want to okay? But here for the section, okay, where the section is, that's where we want to apply the profile class. So now apply profile, and it'll be indented, and you should have everything. Okay, guys, what we're doing is we're setting rules to be applied to the section. Because what we really want to do is indent the section. Okay? So you're going to select the section. As we do everything, put your cursor inside a section. Go down to the bottom. Make sure, see here you're still inside your content. So slide this guy. Actually save the CSS for really well. Yeah, file save all. There you go. Okay? And see here you're actually inside, but you're inside of the paragraph
So what I want you to do is I want you to come down, I want you to select a section. Click on that. There you
Okay,
go.
gotcha.
Now you're in the
And
now,
then I just repeat there?
now you're in the now you've got the section selected. So now if you change the class from here and change the profile, watch what happens. It now takes the properties.
Gotcha, okay.
Okay.
Apply them, okay.
It'll apply them to the section. Yes.
Gotcha.
How you doing? Good? Okay, what we want to do is, yep, good work. What we want to do is select the section itself, take the tag for the section, and then that gets the whole section. And now, if you were to come here to where it says class and apply the profile class, which is right there you go. Now it's indented, now everything's in place. Okay, good job. All right, so that's what we're doing. What we're doing is, we're taking the box, okay? We're taking the box that's holding that information, and we're adjusting the box. And it just so happens that that box's name is section, right? Now, we could have went in and changed and made it like a compound class, or we could have went in and just changed section period, but we didn't want to. So we just made it a regular class so we can apply it to all sections on our page. If we had 5 sections on this page, we could apply it to each section, and each section would end up looking the same. Okay? Text would be indented, but the text really isn't indented. What's indented? The section is, the properties of that, so it's actually the section that's indented, because we've created a margin. Okay? Alright? So we're going to work more in this next week, because what we're going to do is we're going to work on this page, and we're going to bring in images, and we're going to style the images, and we're going to work with the images. And what we're going to end up doing is we'll create a couple more of these, right, as we pull in more information from that RTF file that we just opened. Alright, and then we'll work in images, and we'll work in Photoshop, and we'll show you how you can work from Photoshop into Dreamweaver and all that wonderful good stuff. Anybody have any questions? Okay, this is the first part of adding content. We primarily just work with text. We'll work with more, and we'll continue to format more so you get a better understanding of how you can control the look and the feel of everything. Right? Okay, so no questions? Any issues? Okay, one issue, we'll take care of that in a second. Any concerns? We're good? All right, wonderful. So take a look at the next chapter. I believe it's chapter 8 that goes ahead and talks a little bit about images. Next week when we'll come in, we'll not only talk about how to use images, but we'll talk about the right images to use. Okay? So we'll work on optimizing the images and getting the most out of the image while still trying to compress and have the best file size. All right? Awesome. Wonderful. Make sure you save all so we have everything saved up. So we're working on the same files next week, and we'll cover that when we get in. Okay, if you have any questions or anything, I am here. I'll take care of those. If not, I'll have these videos up with the other videos from the last class, hopefully tomorrow or Wednesday. All right, wonderful. Thank you.